Hi, I am Akshay from Explore the Earth, and in this video I am going to tell you everything that you need to know about Kutch in less than 10 minutes. At least try करूंगा. लेकिन इस वीडियो को देखने के बाद एक बात मैं जरूर कह सकता हूँ कि आप अपना ट्रिप खुद से ही प्लान कर पाएंगे विदाउट एनी एक्सटर्नल हेल्प. तो चलिए फटाक से शुरू करते हैं. कच्छ इज द लार्जेस्ट डिस्ट्रिक्ट इन इंडिया और यहाँ पे व्हाइट रन के अलावा भी और बहुत कुछ है. इट इज फुल ऑफ आर्ट, हेरिटेज, मॉन्यूमेंट्स, कल्चर and even natural resources. Planning a trip here can get a little confusing क्योंकि you would want to cover the maximum number of places in the limited time. To help you plan your trip better, I have divided Kutch into 5 major travel zones which are Bhuj, White Rann region, Mandvi, Western Kutch and Dholavira. One by one हम इन सब travel zones के places to visit and experiences देखेंगे and then we will quickly look into the food and stay options that you have at each of these zones. उसके बाद I'll tell you how to travel around Kutch and also give you a few tips that will be helpful to you. मैंने ये सारे topics description में list कर दिए हैं along with the specific timestamps, so feel free to jump to the topics which are relevant to you. Now before diving into these zones, let us quickly have a look at how to reach Kutch. तो Kutch आने के लिए आपको सबसे पहले भुज आना पड़ेगा which is located at the center of all the major travel zones और आप यहाँ पर फ्लाइट, ट्रेन या बस से भी आ सकते हैं. अगर आप फ्लाइट से आना चाहते हैं then भुज एयरपोर्ट would be the convenient option for most of you. यहाँ पर मुंबई से डेली डायरेक्ट फ्लाइट्स मिल जाती है. अगर आप ट्रेन से आना चाहते हैं then you should take a train to भुज रेलवे स्टेशन. भुज is well connected to the major cities in India. अगर आप गवर्नमेंट बस या प्राइवेट बस से आना चाहते हैं then भुज is well connected to all the major cities in Gujarat and even Mumbai and Pune. Now let us begin with the first zone in Kutch, that is Bhuj. Bhuj is the administrative capital of Kutch district and सबसे पहले हम बात करेंगे भुज के हेरिटेज की. Prag Mahal is one of the most visited attractions in Bhuj and rightly so. Prag Mahal used to be the official residence of Maharajas of Kutch and it was built in an Italian Gothic style way back in 1800. यहाँ पे 1800s के काफ़ी रॉयल आर्टिफैक्ट्स, आइटम्स और स्टैच्यूज तो मिलेंगे ही आपको. इसके अलावा यहाँ पर एक 45 फीट टॉल वॉच टावर भी है जिसके ऊपर जाके यू कैन सी द पैनोरामिक व्यूज ऑफ द एंटायर भुज सिटी. द सेकंड प्लेस टू विजिट इन भुज इज आइना महल. आइना महल इज लोकेटेड इन द सेम वॉल्ड कंपाउंड एज प्राग महल. ये एक 2 स्टोरीड बिल्डिंग है जिसका अपर फ्लोर 2001 के अर्थक्वेक में कंप्लीटली डैमेज हो चुका है बट यू कैन स्टिल विजिट अ फ्यू पार्ट्स ऑफ द ग्राउंड फ्लोर. यहाँ पर आप 18th सेंचुरी के आर्टिफैक्ट्स के अलावा बहुत सारे मिरर्स और मिरर वर्क देख पाएंगे जहाँ पर भी आपकी नज़र जाएगी. Third place on this list and one of our favorites is the Royal Chhatardis. These are umbrella-shaped monuments which were actually the cenotaphs of Rajput warrior rulers of Kutch. Even though यहाँ पे बहुत सारे Chhatardis earthquake में damage हो चुके हैं, but still this is a very beautiful place. If you are interested in art, history or culture, then we would recommend कि आप इन places को visit करें after reading up a little about them. Moving on to the next place on the list is the Bhujiyo fort or hill. Bhujiyo hill is located in the outskirts of Bhuj city and not many tourists go here. But अगर आपको सनराइज या सनसेट देखना पसंद है तो आपको यहाँ पर जरूर जाना चाहिए. यहाँ पर एक पॉइंट तक आप अपनी कार में जा सकते हैं बट उसके बाद आपको स्टेयर्स क्लाइंब करके जाना पड़ेगा ऊपर. बट बिलीव मी, यहाँ पर ऊपर जाके आपको जो व्यूज मिलेंगे पूरे भुज सिटी के विद द राइजिंग सन और सेटिंग सन वुड डेफिनेटली मेक इट वर्थ इट. Another offbeat spot in Bhuj is the Khari Nadi Gorge and it is located around 4 kilometers away from the city center. Khari Nadi is a small river which has carved out an incredible canyon here over centuries. It is not an official tourist spot but you may find some locals or photo shoots going on here. Now all of these spots can easily be covered in half a day max. For the second half of the day you can visit the Vandemataram Memorial and Hiralaxmi Memorial Craft Park, both located in the same premises at Bhujodi village in Kutch which is located around 10 kilometers away from Bhuj. The memorial has various structures which are actually the replicas of India Gate, Indian Parliament House and even Red Fort. Inside these monuments, there are depictions of major highlights from India's independence struggle right from the starting of revolt of 1857. Hiralaxmi Memorial Craft Park भी इसी कैंपस में स्थित है and you can see all the major art forms from entire Kutch district at a single place and you can even purchase the items that you like. If you have more time in your hands, you can also check out these places in Bhuj. ये सब तो सिर्फ भुज में एक्सप्लोर करने के स्पॉट्स थे but don't just get confused by so many options. We have made 4 different vlogs covering all the major spots and experiences in Kutch, जो देखने के बाद आपको एक clear picture मिल जाएगा of what to expect in Kutch. So do check them out after watching this video. Second zone that we are going to discuss is probably the reason why you are watching this video. So let us quickly have a look at the White Rann region. यहाँ पर 3 major spots हैं: the White Desert, Nirona village and Kalo Dungar. White desert is actually a marshy land जहाँ पर the sea dries off during the winter months, leaving behind a vast stretch of land जो पूरा white salt से भरा है. Every year, Rann Utsav is organized here for 4 months, wherein an entire tourism infrastructure is set up, which includes multiple stay options, art exhibitions, cultural shows, and even adventure activities. A majority of all of this is set up at the Dhordo village, which is located around 5 kilometers away from the entry point of Rann. White Rann के entry gate के beyond आप walk करके या camel cart लेके watch tower तक जा सकते हैं. Watch tower के ऊपर से आपको पूरे White Rann के बहुत ही amazing views मिल जाएंगे. The best time to visit White Rann is before sunrise or later in the evening after 4 p.m. until the sun sets. Evening onwards, there are lots of cultural performances that take place here for the tourists. If you are coming here around a full moon night, then you can also visit the run at night to see the entire desert lighting up under the moonlight. The next place to visit in this zone is Nirona village. Nirona is the home to 3 unique art forms जो पूरे इंडिया में सिर्फ यहाँ पर प्रैक्टिस किए जाते हैं. Rogan art painting, copper bell making and lacquer art have been practiced here in this village by a few families for many generations now. They are trying very hard to preserve this, and we would highly recommend you to visit Nirona to check these art forms out. Next on the list is Kalo Dungar or Black Hill, जो कि कच्छ का highest point है. It is located around 50 kilometers ahead of Dhordo, और यहाँ पर जाते हुए आप रास्ते में magnetic field area का भी experience कर सकते हैं. If you put your car in neutral here, it will start moving uphill without any external force. Now it could be an illusion, but गाड़ी को अपने आप रिवर्स में uphill जाते हुए देखना is pretty amazing. कालो डूंगर पे 2 मेन चीजें हैं, the दत्तात्रेय टेम्पल and the panoramic views of entire White Rann. यहाँ से आप बाइनोकुलर्स में इंडिया ब्रिज भी देख सकते हैं, which is the last bridge before Indo-Pak border. Beyond Kalo Dungar, there is India Bridge, BSF War Memorial, and the India-Pakistan border. On the way back from Kalo Dungar, you can check out some of the villages of this region to experience the local art forms. Based on time available and your interests, you can check out Khavda village for its pottery, Ludiya village for its handicrafts, woodwork and jhali work, and also Gandhi which is a model village built by an NGO after it was completely destroyed by earthquake in 2001. The third zone in Kutch is Mandvi, and it can easily be covered in half a day. The 3 major spots to visit in Mandvi are Vijaya Vilas Palace, Shyamji Krishna Memorial and Mandvi Beach. Vijaya Vilas Palace 1920s में बनाया गया था as a summer resort to Maharajas of Kutch. आप पैलेस के कुछ पार्ट्स और म्यूजियम विजिट कर सकते हैं, और यहाँ पर अभी एक लग्जरी हेरिटेज रिसोर्ट भी बनाया गया है. Many popular films such as हम दिल दे चुके सनम, लगान और कमांडो मूवीज की शूटिंग भी यहाँ पर हुई थी. Next place to visit in Mandvi is the Shyamji Krishna Memorial. Shyamji Krishna Verma एक prominent freedom fighter थे, and this museum has been built as a tribute to his contributions to India's freedom struggle. The structure of the memorial is a replica of India House in London, जो कि उस जमाने में एक बेस हुआ करता था for India's revolutionary activities against the British rule. Last and the most exciting place in Mandvi is the Mandvi beach. It is a very clean beach where you can call it a day while watching a mesmerizing sunset. There are lots of vendors for street food, water sports, camel rides and other activities as well. Some of the activities available here are parasailing, jet ski and water zorbing. If you have a little more time, you can also check out the 72 Jinalaya temples, which are located around 10 kilometers away from Mandvi. Moving on to the 4th zone of Kutch, जो कि इंडिया का westernmost region है. The major spots to visit here are Lakhpat Fort and Lakhpat Gurudwara Sahib, Koteshwar Mahadev Temple and Narayan Sarovar Lake. Narayan Sarovar is among the 5 holy lakes or Panch Sarovar as mentioned in Hindu scriptures. Adjacent to the lakes are temples dedicated to various deities. There are 2 dharamshalas or rest houses where you can get a decent stay here. 2 kilometers from Narayan Sarovar is the Koteshwar Mahadev Temple. There is a very interesting legend behind this temple. To put it in a line, it is the same place where God tricked Ravana to put the shivling on the ground, and as a result he lost his blessings of being invincible. Lakhpat is a small town located 35 kilometers ahead of Narayan Sarovar. It has an interesting history of being one of the most prosperous ports in India to becoming a vacant ghost town in ruins, all because of an earthquake. As of today, यहाँ पर बस फोर्ट के ruins बचे हैं, and there is a गुरुद्वारा which can be a good resting point for all the pilgrims and travelers. अगर आप अपने फैमिली के साथ आ रहे हैं, then this side of Kutch would be a better option to visit than Dholavira. The 5th and the final zone that we are going to discuss in Kutch is Dholavira. It is located on the Khadir Island in Kutch and it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Currently, Dholavira is located around 220 kilometers away from Bhuj, which makes for a very tiring road journey. But जल्द ही एक नया हाईवे ओपन होने वाला है जिससे ये डिस्टेंस बस 125 kilometers हो जाएगा. There are 4 major places of interest in Dholavira: the Harappan excavation site, the archaeological museum, fossil park, and Chipper Point. The site is actually the ruins of an entire fortified city from Harappan times, जिसको बहुत ही carefully excavate किया गया है. Even though most of it is in ruins now, major structures जैसे कि एक citadel, a lower town, a middle town, a stadium, and mechanisms for water harvesting have been identified here. If you do visit Dholavira, हम recommend करेंगे कि आप यहाँ पर एक गाइड जरूर हायर करें. आर्कियोलॉजिकल म्यूजियम इज ऑल्सो लोकेटेड हियर, जहाँ पर आप वो सारे आर्टिफैक्ट्स देख पाएंगे जो एक्सकवेशन के वक्त इस साइट से मिले थे. You can see terracotta animal figures, jewelry made from semi-precious stones, and even some inscriptions found during those times. Another one of interesting places on Khadir is the fossil park, and it is located around 10 kilometers away from Dholavira. यहाँ पर एक बहुत बड़ा wood fossil है जिसको गवर्नमेंट ने प्रोटेक्ट करके रखा है. It is actually a tree which is believed to be around 180 million years old, that is from way back in Jurassic era. Apart from this, the views of Run of Kutch Lake are very beautiful at this point, and if you are lucky enough, you can even spot a bunch of flamingos in this region. Chipper Point, or as marked on Google Maps as the Khadir Hill Station, is a unique rock coming out of a cliff on this island. The views of the infinite salt desert are very beautiful from this point, and it also makes for a good photo stop. If you have some extra time on your hand, you should definitely check it out. जब हम कच्छ गए थे तब हम वेस्टर्न जोन विजिट नहीं कर पाए थे, but for all the remaining 4 zones, we have made really interesting vlogs which you should definitely check out. इन vlogs को देख के आपको एक real picture मिल जाएगा of all these major spots, so do check them out. Where to stay in Kutch? कच्छ में रहने के लिए बहुत सारे ऑप्शंस है, राइट फ्रॉम धर्मशालास टू पैलेसेस टू लग्जरी होटल्स टू इवन टेंट साइट. आई विल टेल यू ऑल द स्टे ऑप्शंस वेयर वी हैव स्टेड एट एंड इवन द वंस दैट वी वर रिकमेंडेड व्हाइल प्लानिंग आवर ट्रिप. भुज में हम एक ओयो के स्पॉट ऑन प्रॉपर्टी पे रुके थे जिसका नाम था शक्ति हॉस्टल एंड होटल. इट इज़ अ स्टूडेंट हॉस्टल कम होटल, तो ज़्यादा एमिनिटीज़ या मील्स नहीं मिलेंगे आपको, बट इट इज़ अ वेल मेंटेन्ड एंड अ क्लीन प्लेस इफ यू आर लुकिंग फॉर अ बजट ऑप्शन. देयर आर 2 more properties in Bhuj that you can check out: the Fern Residency and 7 Sky Clarks Exotica Hotel. If you are looking for a luxury stay, check out Regenta Resort Bhuj. Let's have a look at the stay options in the White Rann. Utsav, the tent city, and White Rann Resort are the biggest and official tent cities in Dordo. यहाँ पर अलग अलग कैटेगरीज के furnished tents और भोंगा stays मिल जाएंगे आपको depending upon your budget. However, do note that यहाँ पर रहने के लिए आपको काफ़ी एडवांस में बुकिंग करना पड़ेगा and they only sell a complete package from Bhuj to Bhuj. It includes all the transfers, meals and sightseeing. Plus, tent city के अंदर काफ़ी सारे amenities, cultural shows और events होते रहते हैं which are only accessible to the tourists who are staying in the tent city. You can check out their respective websites for comparison of all the inclusions, activities and rates. You can also check out the Toran Resort by Gujarat government in Dordo. However, if you wish to cover places other than those mentioned in the tent city packages, or if you are traveling on a budget, then you can stay at any other place and plan your own trip as well. We stayed at Rann Rajvi Resort, जो दोरडो से थोड़ा दूर है, and we stayed in Bungas. The food here was decent and the place was clean. You can also check out any other properties in this area, and a quick way to do this would be to discover them on Google Maps and calling the property owners directly to get the final rates. We did not stay in Mandvi during our trip, but there are 2 options which are popular here. Number 1 is to take a tent city package which includes a night stay in Mandvi to stay at a tent city similar to Dordo. Another option is to stay at the Vijaya Vilas Heritage Resort, which is quite expensive. If it is convenient for you to make a night stay in Western Zone, then there is a Dharamshala in Narayan Sarovar. However, ये एक काफी basic और economical option रहेगा. There is also a Toran property by Gujarat government in Narayan Sarovar जो आप देख सकते हैं. Dholavira में भी there are a couple of stay options that you can check out on Google Maps. We stayed in Hotel Run of Kutch, and here too we stayed in Bungas. If you have stayed at any other places, please drop the names in comments for other travelers. Now let us talk about some food recommendations in Kutch. Most of the places in White Rann and Dholavira would have meals included in their packages. However, do confirm once before making the booking, as inclusions might vary from place to place, and they would be serving basic Gujarati food. we would like to recommend a few places that you must try when in Kutch. Starting with the Kutchi Dabeli, the most popular Dabeli place visited by the tourists as well as the locals is undoubtedly the Mohan Roti Wala in Bhuj. यहाँ की दाबेली बहुत अमेजिंग है, लिंक डिस्क्रिप्शन में छोड़ दूंगा. देयर आर नॉट मेनी रेस्टोरेंट्स इन दोरडो और वाइट रन रीजन, पर आपको यहाँ पे कुछ ढाबाज या रिफ्रेशमेंट सेंटर्स मिल जाएंगे. जस्ट बिफोर द टूरिस्ट परमिट चेक पोस्ट near the village of Bhirandiara, you must try the freshly made hot milk mawa, जो कि बहुत टूरिस्ट को पसंद आता है and it is very highly recommended. There are two amazing places in Mandvi जो कि most of the tourists visit करते ही हैं. Osho Dining Lodge and Kesaria Hotel. We had an unlimited Gujarati thali lunch at Kesaria Hotel और वो बहुत ही delicious था. If you are looking for something other than Gujarati food, तो आपको काफी सारे मल्टी क्विजिन रेस्टोरेंट्स और चेन रेस्टोरेंट्स भुज में मिल जाएंगे. If you know any other restaurants or have any other food recommendations, please drop the names in the comments for other travelers. There are a few suggestions or tips that I feel might be helpful to you while planning your trip. So number one is how to travel around Kutch. The only way to explore different parts of Kutch is by road. तो आपके पास एक vehicle होना जरूरी है. If you are planning to take a 10 city package, तो उसमें तो सारे transfers included होंगे, but otherwise you would have to hire a 2-wheeler or a 4-wheeler from Bhuj डिपेंडिंग अपॉन योर कंफर्ट. हम राजकोट से सीधा एक व्हीकल बुक करके गए थे, सो आई डोंट हैव एनी पर्सनल रिकमेंडेशंस, बट अ सिंपल गूगल सर्च और टॉकिंग टू योर प्रॉपर्टी मैनेजर्स कैन हेल्प यू गेट सम कॉन्टैक्ट. अगर आप बहुत ही टाइट बजट पे ट्रैवल कर रहे हो, देन ओनली टेक GSRTC बस सर्विसेज, क्योंकि ये बहुत ही इनफ्रीक्वेंट है एंड इट्स नॉट दैट रिलायबल. प्लस इफ यू आर रीचिंग एट ऑल ऑफ दीज जोन्स इन अ बस, देन विद इन द जोन्स ट्रैवल करने के लिए आपको कुछ और व्हीकल भी ढूंढना पड़ेगा. नेक्स्ट थिंग दैट वी आर गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट इज द परमिट्स. व्हाइट रन में एंट्री लेने से पहले आपको एक परमिट लेना पड़ता है बिकॉज दिस रीजन इज वेरी क्लोज टू द इंडो-पाकिस्तान बॉर्डर. You can apply for this permit easily on runpermit.com. You just need to provide your date and time of visit, all the travelers' details, and upload one government ID to get the permit. You can also get it offline at the Virandiara check post, but हो सकता है कि वहाँ पर rush थोड़ा ज़्यादा हो. Coming to the final tip in this video. Special days. Everything in Kutch is a little more expensive on public holidays, long weekends, festivals and full moon nights. The only different experience that you would get on a full moon night is to see the run glow up a little under the moonlight. It is definitely a beautiful sight, but it may not be worth the price difference for everyone. So Google some photos before you go and take a call. So that's it from this explainer. If you have any questions or confusions about Kutch, then do let me know in comments and I will try my best to help you out. I sincerely hope that this video was helpful to you, and if you like what we do, please subscribe to our channel and follow us on Instagram. And lastly, one friendly reminder, Kutch के vlogs देख लेना, बहुत मजा आएगा. See you for the next video.